Happy Leo season! The sun is now 2 degrees Leo and it's the start of the highest part of the summer with more intensity brought by us by the fixed fire alignment. But this year, this Leo season is more and more special than before because the sun is conjuncting Jupiter. Jupiter also in the sign of Leo, but also, more important than that is that this sun alignment in Leo is bringing us a brighter perspective and a more focused perspective, or stubborn if you are on that side of the fixed energy, about the Barbo's basket. I have already made a video here on the channel to talk about the Barbo basket. It will be here in the cards in this video. And basically, whatever is the Barbo basket that you will see in that video, right? And we'll talk about here recently, with the Sun in Leo, we can see it more. We can see it in a more realistic or personal way. And we will talk about that in this video, and we'll talk about in the future more about the Barbo's basket. But I want you to tell me if you know anything about the Barbo basket, and I want you to tell me if you have seen or experiencing anything in the real life that deals or signifies to you or represents to you the Barbo's basket in action. So, Sun in Leo, let's talk about that. Happy Leo season, everybody. And it has a Leo sun. You are here to make everybody's life brighter or a bit more diabolical if you are too egotistical. But that's okay, that's okay. I have an Aquarius stellium, I'm here to balance you out. And I had a lot of best friends that were Leos, I had a lot of girlfriends and girlfriends and crushes that were Leos as well. So one of my best friends that was a girl, she was a Leo too, so I know how to deal with your Leos, and I like a lot of Leo energy. It's a great balancing for my alignment, and I'm a great balancing for their alignment as well. So if you are a Leo, just be more like Aquarius. Now I'm joking. Nah. We Aquarius hate when we say that. We hate when they say that to us. Oh, you need to open up a little bit more. You need to think a bit less. Oh, you need to be a bit more smiley. And Leos hate when there has to be more realistic or more social or think a bit more about things in general. Not saying you guys are dumb. Not saying that from an Aquarius stellium perspective. I understand that thinking less is good. Okay, I understand that. That's not a problem. Also interesting, I'm now realizing that, not realizing, but I'm now noticing that the moon is in Sagittarius. So great fire alignment here today. Oh, it's a great fire trine. Sun in Leo, Moon in Sag, Saturn and Neptune in Aries. It's fiery time, ladies and gentlemen. It's fiery time. Luckily, we have Venus in Virgo, giving some more Earth energy, some more grounding. We have Mars in Gemini, bringing some more logicality and headnesses. And we have Pluto in Aquarius, bringing some cold air to us. Nothing in Libra to make a grand trine, but we'll talk about that in the future in another video. But right now, Sun in Leo, Leo season, the height of the summer. We are here to be fixed, stubborn, or consistent with our actions, visions, wants, egotistical matters, creativity, and spirituality. And when I say spirituality, I don't necessarily mean tarot readings, astrology, candles, witchcraft. Just spirituality is basically you existing is spirituality. Your existence is spirituality. Your personal testimonies, which is a big part, a big complement, a big archetype of the Sagittarius energy, your personal testimonies are the biggest form of spirituality. You living your life and then you creating conclusions, recognizing patterns, and then communicating that to others. That's spirituality. And Leos, a lot of Leos that I've known, they are not into spirituality as in astrology and tarot readings and whatnot, but they are very strong to themselves or communicating to others about their visions. Oh, I went through that and I felt that. I went to that place and I saw that. People in that area, they behave like that. People in that country, they are like that. And they're very fixed. That's spirituality. Going out into the world, recognizing patterns, recognizing trends, recognizing what people do in certain places. That's a big part of spirituality because that's what spirits do. That's what astrologers do when we talk about the 12th house or the 8th house, because that means that spirits that come from that place behave in a certain way. They create things more in a certain way. So that's spirituality, that's astrology, recognizing patterns. Tarot cards are a symbol to a pattern, a symbol to a way of behaving, a way of creating, a way of destroying. A card symbolizes a way of doing something. So basically, spirituality, in a very generic essence, is recognizing patterns, pattern recognition. But it's not like science, because science is just physical, and that's not wrong. It's just what it is, what it is. Spirituality is also recognizing with the subconscious, with feelings, with emotions, recognizing things that cannot be seen by everybody, or literally things that you feel, that you suspect, and then you need to confirm with some physical evidence. That's what Leos do very well. They are, because they are consistent in their visions, in their actions, in their spirituality. They can be patient or stubborn until they see in a realistic way in the world the materialization and manifestation of their beliefs, of their visions. And sometimes they force that to happen, and the Aquarius do that too with their mind. By the Aquarius thinking a lot about the same thing, that will happen. And sometimes Aquariuses are really good at doing that in a negative sense. Like, oh, that person is about to impose limits and boundaries on me, or this person is about to judge me, or this person is about to forget about something that I tell them. And that happens because the Aquarius gets so fixed in that mental space that actually becomes real. And with Leos, it's the same, but it's more with feelings and more with actions, or being in a certain place, behaving in a certain way. Aquarius is not being in a certain place, not behaving in a certain way. It's the opposition, right? So, Sun in Leo, it's all about that action, baby. It's all about being out there. With it doesn't mean that you need to be out there in the street. It just means you need to be out there, even in your personal space. You don't need to go out into the world, but express yourself. Be yourself at all costs. No shame, no fear. And I know, like, in the workplace, in the church, there are limits and boundaries, but be yourself to the maximum potential within those limits and boundaries that you don't want to break. Once again, the opposition of Leo, Aquarius, the external side of Saturn, the external, more masculine, more humanitarian side of limits and boundaries. Leo sometimes struggle with that because they go too much into breaking those limits and boundaries, or they get too crushed by those limits and boundaries, you know. And sometimes Aquariuses, they want to break limits and boundaries in their surroundings because they see others struggling with that. It's not because the Aquarius itself is struggling with those limits and boundaries. Sometimes it's because a Leo is struggling with a limit and boundary that is being proposed by the Aquarius or by an external force. And then Aquariuses collectively, or for the collective, try to break those limits and boundaries, and then they act weird to show others that it's okay to be weird. You can be yourself. That's okay. That's recommended. I recommend individuality, creativity, and spirituality. You know what I'm saying? But also keep in mind that you and others can become or be more egocentric and egotistical, because being egocentric is not bad. You are the center of your universe. You are the center of your perspective. The reason you are alive is you. So you should be egocentric. Now, egotistical, it's a bit different, because that's when you start to absorb others' egos into yourself and you become a dark hole and you absorb too much things that don't belong in your space, things that you shouldn't have orbiting around you. You try and forcibly do so, you know, because energy magic follows the path of least resistance. And what happens with Leos or Aries, and sometimes Aquarius too, mostly, and Taurus as well, and Scorpio, the fixed signs, or the exaltation of the sun, or the exaltation of Mars, aka Capricorns, they try to force those things to come their way instead of creating a system, a gravitational system, spiritually speaking, not realistically, right? That makes things and people and good energies, or just good people that are creative or business mind like it as well, gravitate around them. So what can happen in this Leo season is that you can, for whatever reason, can be like you lacking something, or you just wanting something, because wanting something doesn't mean you lacking something, and then creating a need to replenish that is one thing. Another thing is wanting even more. You might already have something, you might not be lacking, and then you want to go and grab more. That can happen to you or others around you as well. And it can be materialistic or can be in terms of attention, recognition, getting a promotion, or getting a social promotion, as in your group of friends or a group of co-workers, people starting to see you in a certain way because you acted in a certain way, because you said something, because you made a joke, and that can become too much. It's okay to do that, but it's okay, or it's even better to use the opposition energy of Leo, aka Aquarius, to bring some balance. So use that egotistical energy, use that ego energy for the collective. Instead of you having all the power, having all the attention, having all the fun, having all the entertainment, you bring that to the collective around you. You bring the fun, the entertainment, the attention, you make others shine with your shine. Aquariuses, they can also make others shine, but it's like they set up the stage. They make the costume for somebody else to wear and then shine. Leos is because they are the star, because they are the famous actor, because they are the guy, they then can take all that light and shine to others. And that's what sometimes Leos don't do, and then they get hated on because they steal the light from others. There was a friend of mine, he had a Leo sun, and he did this a lot, which was, imagine, he was in a scenario with somebody else. And then that other person was telling the story or whatever happened. And that Leo sun friend, he would always, not always, but most of the times, he would interrupt the person that was telling the story, that they both went together, and he was the one now telling the story. And he was the one saying how things were and were not. He was stealing the show. That's something that actually many Leos can do, even when they already have the attention, even when they're already at the start of the show, the start of their group of friends. They want to maintain it. They want to be consistent or stubborn in that perspective. So you can be like that, even if you are not a Leo. Anybody now wants to be a bit more like Leo, or they feel afraid or they are rejecting, because it's always a duality. So every time the sun is in a sign, everybody else in the world wants to be a bit more like that, or they feeling disgusted or afraid or rejected, or they're rejecting that because like they don't want to be a part of that, or they have certain traumas and they are defending themselves from that energy, or they just have an Aquarius sun or Aries sun and they're by default opposing everything in their lives because that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So Leo season, in terms of the world, in terms of nature, is going to be hot in the northern hemisphere. Many people go on vacations here in Portugal. A lot of people come from outside of the world to Portugal, including Portuguese people, because Portugal has like 12 million people, but the nation, it's 15, 16 million. So a lot of Portuguese are out in the world, and then it's always in the Leo season. They come, and some villagers are kind of left to rot, but then in the month of August, they're full of life. So everybody's coming because Leo is the sign after Cancer. So in Cancer, we are paying attention to the house, to the place where we came from, to the heart space, and then Leo, that space now becomes full of light, full of attention, full of energy, because Cancer season is not really that, because the sun doesn't really like to be in Cancer. It's more like creating a space to then fulfill it. So if you are already a creative spirit, it's going to be easier for you to feel confident, to feel the want to share that with others, even if others don't agree, even if they oppose you. Just you expressing, just you being who you are, it's going to feel good. If you are a spirit that it's a bit more in a mental jail cell or on an emotional jail cell, you can feel a bit more ashamed, you can feel a bit more imprisoned, you can feel a bit more like the world doesn't want to see your light, so you can get a little bit depressed. And always remember, that's not true. You were born to win, you were born to be here, you were born to be yourself, you chose to be born, you chose to come alive into an externalization, so you chose to participate in Leo-like energies. So it's up to you to find your light, to create your light, and use it and be it wherever you are, whenever you are. You know what I'm saying? And Leo season, it's all about being fixed, consistent or stubborn in your actions, visions, expressions, individuality, creativity, and in areas where you pay attention or you entertain somebody, or where you receive attention or you pay attention to some form of entertainment. Also, as a side note, it's a time to be pretty, you know, to look pretty in your words, in your aspect, in your clothes, to make your space look pretty, to bring some more decoration, to make yourself feel a bit more alive and light, or just you can bring that to a mental space or to a social space. Now let's talk about a very important alignment, I think, which is Jupiter conjuncting the Sun, or Sun conjuncting Jupiter, whatever. Because right now the Sun is still 2 degrees Leo, so after 3 degrees, it's official Leo season. Now it's still a transit from Cancer season. And Jupiter in Leo, it's basically the expansion of, or expanding by being fixed, consistent, or stubborn in your visions, in your actions, in your expressions, in your beliefs, in how you see yourself, in how you believe who you are. And Sun in Leo will bring more attention from us and from others to our beliefs, to our faith systems, to our wisdom, to our knowledge, to our travels, to our personal testimonies. And it's really, really important to stay loyal to yourself, to be faithful about yourself, about the world. Bring a brighter light to your own perspective of the world. And it is not Aquarius season yet, so it's not about being stubborn and consistent in communicating that to the world in a realistic, logical, and social way. It's about just do it. Just express yourself. Just just say, like, I see the world becoming a better place because I saw this YouTube video. You have to fight the doom and gloom. You have to remember that we live in a beautiful world. Trees make oxygen. They are connected by roots and connections of mycelia and shroomies. Ants can make beautiful works together. Dolphins and the killer whales are awesome. Most of the people, 90% of people, are good people and they are living their lives. We have a lot of creative people out there, and now it's the time to expand our visions, what we see, how we see in the world as well, to a brighter light, to a place where we can pay more attention, we can receive more attention. It's more worth it to participate, it's more exciting, it's more fun, it's more spiritual, it's more creative, but also consistent, not just la la land and things everywhere, and there is no sense, there is no communion, there is no order. That's not true. That's not true, especially with Pluto in Aquarius. The world is transforming into a more orderly place that allows for more uniqueness and individuality as well. So actually, Sun and Jupiter opposing Pluto, it's a great alignment of balance to bring spirit, to bring fire, individuality, creativity into order, into organization, into social structures that want to be more unique, that want to be more individual. You know what I'm saying? And that's a great, great alignment. So, to end the video, make sure to bring a brighter light to yourself, to how you see yourself. Bring more trust, more confidence, more self-love to your wisdom, to your knowledge, to your belief, to your spirituality, to your faith, to your ability to express that and associate, mix and mingle your beliefs, your visions, your personal interests, your personal insecurities, how you see yourself, how you see the world. Bring that brighter light, that brighter flame, that warmth to yourself, to the world, and to the world around you through actions, expressions, visions, and communication. It's about time to expand on that, to obtain wisdom and knowledge through being consistent or stubborn in your visions, actions, and expressions about spirituality, creativity, and a brighter light. Thank you for watching, and the next video here on the channel will be a complete astrological analysis of the Sun in Leo for 2026. Keep it cool, keep it healthy. See you on the next one.